All right, I'm super excited to have you again today on this channel. You are welcome. You are new here, kindly subscribe, and the whole people you are highly welcome. Today again, I'm going to talk about what you needed to do before you just launch yourself into prayer. It's an effective prayer tips. I want you to understand it first. It is enough time that we give ourselves to chances whereby we will be waiting and give ourselves to chances of letting things happen in our life. No. Jesus has given us awesome tools to use in terms of prayer. And this awesome tools is prayer. And as we are using these tools, it's expected from us that we use it right and know what is it. Now, the first thing that whenever you are having any issue in your life, just sit back. The first tip is just to sit back, do the works of identification to the problem. Identify the challenges, identify the issue, then you will be able to take it to the presence of God. The first tip is that in the book of Matthew chapter 17 through 18 to 21, there was a man there that had identified his challenges, the challenges of the child. And this child was having a spirit, serious spirit that has always be a burdensome to the parent. They brought it to Jesus. They brought him to Jesus, and Jesus was able to make the necessary healing to that child. It was the only child. Likewise, if you read also the story of Jabez, Bible say Jabez sit back one day and discovered that this thing it was not supposed to be. And he went to God in prayer. Firstly, he did the work of identification. Likewise to the son of the prophet, when the ark fell, do you know that they were able to identify that particular point the ark fell? So as a Christian, as a believer, you need to first do the work of identification. Identify that issue, identifying. Then the second one is again, in the book of Luke chapter 5 verse 19, they did the work of disagreeing with the issue to continue with them. This man that was sick, that is on a sick bed, they disagree that, oh, nothing. Likewise also you will say nothing will hold me by, not to take my issue, not to take my challenges to Jesus. Nothing will hold me by. They did not agree. The crowd was so much whereby they were unable to reach unto Jesus. They were unable to take their issue to Jesus. But because of they are so violent and want their miracle to come true, that is why they do all they could. Bible said they pierced the roof and bring down the man to Jesus. And healing come unto this man on that very day. Let nothing separate you from God. Let nothing hinder you from God by taking your issue to him. Now you have done the first work, identification, self-identification to the problem. Then the second one is that taking all things that will enable you to take that issue to God in prayer. Nothing should hinder you. Many people today, they will say, okay, they are too so busy in the place of work. They don't have chance to pray. They don't have that. No, do not allow nothing. The crowd will not be able to hinder those people to take the man to Jesus. Then the third tip is that do the work of studying. The works of studying to see what God has said towards that issue. There is no issue that have ever come to a man in life that God has not spoken towards it in the Bible. It's in the book of Deuteronomy whereby God himself was saying, I am the Lord that healed you. If it is sickness that have been the issue, take it to God. Study and identify that and make it rhyme with Jesus in the place of your studying. Meditate in the word of God so that you will be able to take this word to him. You'll be able to take it to him. Now, again, is that in that book of Isaiah chapter 43, verse 26, God is saying, he said, put me in remembrance. State your case. He said, let's contend together that you will be acquitted. That means when you are able to study the word of God and you are able to how will I say it? To see the reason or see what God has said towards that matter, you'll be able to take it to him. You hold God by his word. You hold him by his word. Bible says he honor his word even than his name. So he is God, he cannot lie. Whatsoever that he has spoken towards you, he is true and is forever true. So this time I think you have understand this, that before you go to prayer at all, do this thing. Number one is your self-identification. What is the problem with me? Do you know when Israelites have not known they are a slave in Egypt, they were just continue doing what they are doing as they like. But when the day they realize that they are in problem, that is when they demand for freedom. They demand for freedom. Likewise, sit back and see, is this thing right with my marriage? Is this thing right with my business? Is this thing right with my ministry? Then if you observe that it's not right, you take it to God in prayer. When you take it to God in prayer, He's there to answer you speedily, because that is it. Then once you be able to understand that word, Mary says something in that book of Luke chapter 1 verse 38. He now said, let it be done unto me according to your word. That means according to the word of God. That is where you are positioning your heart, your life, your everything to happen. Let it be done to you according to the word of God. And what is the word of God saying? He is saying expected end, not full ending. Then good success, not failure. Health, not sickness. Surplus, not lack. Bible says you will lack nothing. That book of James. Jesus has promised even more for you. Is all you need to do before you go to prayer is just like understand this and take your prayer to God. And once you do, you discover that God is answering you speedily. You are God's elect and He will answer you speedily. Thanks so much for this watching of this video, and God bless you. You are becoming the part of the family. Comment, like, and share. Let's grow the gospel together. God bless you. See you all the time.